Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Darren Faunenstill, and I'm President of the Retail Energy Supply Association, or RESA. Again, my last name is Faunenstill, but if you have questions for me and want to call me by Darren, that's usually what everybody does. In addition to serving as RESA President, I'm also Senior Vice President and Associate General Counsel for Stream Energy Pennsylvania, known more commonly as Stream or Stream Energy. To our customers, we are one of over 20 RESA member companies serving retail and natural gas customers in states like Pennsylvania, Texas, Maryland, Illinois, New Jersey, Ohio, and others. We have several RESA member companies in the audience today. Prior to joining Stream, I was a staff attorney in the Enforcement Division of the PUC of Texas, so I bring with me today experience both with a governmental body overseeing a retail energy market, as well as an attorney for a retailer responsible for ensuring compliance with various states' consumer protection laws. I appreciate the opportunity to provide testimony on RESA's behalf today. In 2005, my company, Stream, began operations in Texas as a retail electric provider. Today, Stream is one of the largest competitive retail electric providers in Texas. Our company was not and is not an affiliate of any utility in any jurisdiction. This means that on day one in Texas, not only did we have to compete to gain market share, we also had to ensure that we did our own billing, Supplier Consolidated Billing, and that it was done in compliance with Texas PUC regulations. In 2006, my company expanded to Georgia, where we provide natural gas service, another state where we, not the utility, directly bill residential and small commercial customers. Billing programs have been a strategic part of our company's and our competitors' customer service. Indeed, retail energy providers are always looking for new ways to reach customers and provide excellent service to existing customers to improve their brand experience. All retailers want satisfied and engaged customers, but this is not done solely through the marketing department using creative advertising or glitzy messaging alone. What if I told you that another department can beat our marketing teams in terms of customer engagement? In fact, in all retail companies, retail energy or not, there is one department whose communications are viewed by 97% of their existing customers for an average of 2 to 5 minutes at a time. No department at any retailer can create a social media post or even a television or radio ad with that level of customer engagement. And yet, each month, customer bills and statements do just that. It is time that Pennsylvania energy retailers are allowed to utilize their billing abilities to create brand awareness and loyalty, improved customer satisfaction, customer engagement, and customer lifetime value. Over 20 years ago, in 1996, this Commonwealth passed the Electric Generation and Customer Choice and Competition Act and allowed its citizens, not the government, to choose who they wanted as their energy retailer. That act required electric utilities to unbundle their rates and services and to provide open access over their transmission and distribution systems to allow competitive suppliers to generate and sell electricity to customers in this Commonwealth and to allow Pennsylvanians to enjoy the benefits of competition. Today, as the Commission considers SCB, its decision has the potential to carry the market forward to further promote the purposes of the Act and the right of Pennsylvanians to choose from a portfolio of innovative products and services that they want and feel are best for them. Numerous provisions from the Act, as summarized in RESA's written comments in this proceeding, reflect a clear judgment by the legislature to construct a market that ensured consumers have the benefits of choice. The absence of SCB in today's market, however, restricts the goals of the Act's numerous provisions because only having the utility bill customers is confusing to them, and consumers really do not have the choice and innovation envisioned by the Act. All in all, consumers cannot establish relationships with their competitive suppliers in any truly meaningful way because they have no choice but to be billed by the utility. Thus, consumers do not get the products and services they want, nor can retail suppliers deliver those to them because current billing options do not allow suppliers to provide them. Adding SCB is perfectly consistent with the direction provided to the Commission in the Choice Act, and indeed, nothing in the Act prohibits SCB. Implementation of SCB is necessary now, particularly in light of current utility practices that create an unfair advantage favoring the utilities. The existing structure impedes competition and has fostered barriers to innovation. When the legislature adopted the Act, it recognized that the power of choice was meaningless if no competitive offers were made available to its citizens. And certainly the legislature did not envision a limitation on the number and types of competitive offers to be made available either. Then existing monopoly structures in place had restricted offers pre-1996 since Pennsylvanians could only choose from the utility. In other words, take it or leave it, and leaving really was not an option. So the legislature wisely set forth specific directives regarding the interactions between EDCs and new competitive suppliers. They've required non-discriminatory access to the EDC system on rates, terms of access, and conditions comparable to the utility's own use of its system. The act also empowered the Commission to take steps to prevent anti-competitive or discriminatory conduct and to investigate the impact on the proper functioning of a fully competitive retail market. In Pennsylvania, competitive retailers face significant obstacles in their ability to introduce even the most commonplace innovations seen in markets that have implemented SCB. My colleagues on the panel with me today will address these further, but in other markets, we can see products that you've heard about previously from other panels. They'll speak to those, as I said, more. In Pennsylvania, however, competitive suppliers face significant obstacles in being able to bring these types of products and services to customers when the utility is the one issuing a bill that is limited in its design, permits only so many characters for any messaging, and allows a supplier at best to put its logo on the bill to remind the customer who their supplier is. The practical real-world effect of these limitations is that EDCs use ratepayer funding and resources to deepen and broaden their unfair competitive advantage. One prime example that RISA cited in our comments was First Energy Company's use of welcome packets, call centers, bill inserts, and Smart Mart websites to promote non-commodity products and services. The Commission is compelled by the Act to address the situation and others in which suppliers are not able to compete on a level playing field. If EDCs are allowed to solidify their competitive advantage in ways that continue and further their competitive advantage, it will shut out suppliers and eventually have the unintended effect of customers returning more and more to the utility in a market that was designed and intended in 1996 to be competitive. Instead, implementing SCB will continue to push the market forward and open up new products and services. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Sean Garrity, who will speak to some positive benefits of SCB that customers have experienced in Texas and Georgia. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have during the Q&A session of today's En Banc hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you, Commission. Implementing SCB will give customers the choice and enable innovative and value-add products. Consumers want more than just be able to turn their lights on. They want new technologies and manage their energy consumption, help the environment, and in new ways think about energy, and companies like RISA's member companies, and ways to deliver them. But sadly, we can't. Trends such as deployment of rooftop solar, connected home devices, smart LED lighting, and thermostats and service innovations change the way customers think about their energy supplier. This type of innovation is why states like Pennsylvania and Texas embarked on restructuring their markets in the first place. Being able to communicate with the consumer through their bill opens up opportunities for the consumer to save in other essential products. Stream, for example, offers energy consumers competitive pricing on wireless, home, and protective services. By opening up this additional line of communication with customers, we can communicate additional safety and customer advocacy messages. We can communicate things like in Georgia, a bill message or an insert to communicate around gas leaks and the safety measures need to be taken when a leak is present. In Texas, we send out messages regarding hurricanes and hurricane warnings to better inform consumers. Supplier Consolidated Billing allows the customer to have a stronger relationship with their supplier. We can customize how we communicate to the consumer, giving them choice. Maybe they would like to configure auto pay, paperless billing, or pay by text. By opening up the ability to choose, we allow the consumer to have the conversation with their supplier, allowing us to meet the ever-growing needs of the modern consumer. At this time, I'll now turn it over to John Drussel.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is John Dussel, and I am the Chief Customer Officer for TXU Energy, which is the largest retail electric supplier in Texas and part of the Vistra Energy portfolio of companies. Collectively, we serve over almost 3 million residential customers. Vistra also maintains a generation presence in Pennsylvania with approximately 2,000 megawatts of capacity throughout the state. I appreciate the opportunity to provide testimony on behalf of RISA today. As Chief Customer Officer, I oversee the organizations responsible for delivering exceptional customer experiences to TXU Energy's customers, including all back office services such as billing. I'm here today to speak to the impact that Supplier Consolidated Billing has had on the Texas deregulated market, and specifically, I wanted to highlight the customer experience and product and service innovation benefits that Supplier Consolidated Billing has provided. Before I do that, I wanted to recognize that for the past 20 years, Pennsylvania has been one of the nation's leaders in electricity deregulation and customer choice, and any implementation of supplier consolidated billing should be conducted in a manner with Pennsylvania's market design and a focus on Pennsylvania's customers. TXU Energy has participated in the Texas market since competition opened in 2002, and we, along with many retailers, have gained significant experience in managing supplier consolidated billing, which has been the exclusive billing method in our market for the past 16 years. With SCB, retailers own the end-to-end customer experience and, as such, are directly accountable for not only ensuring all applicable regulatory requirements are met, but also providing customers with exceptional service and unique product offerings, often tailored to a customer's specific needs. In this regard, Texas retailers have expanded call center hours to compete on service, developed customer interactive platforms to provide electricity usage insights, built online capabilities to allow customers to self-serve at times that fit their schedules, and more. Simply put, supplier consolidated billing offers retailers a complete platform to differentiate themselves through customer experience and product and service innovation, along with a competitive incentive to do so. RISA believes that the implementation of SCB combined with the rollout of advanced meters will position the Pennsylvania market to realize new levels of product innovation and thereby expand the customer experienced benefits of electric choice. With SCB in place, energy generation suppliers would have the authority, tools, and incentive to develop a greater variety of customer-focused products and services. This would include more time-of-use plans that leverage advanced meter data to support shifting customers' usage to times when electricity may cost less, or to simply better align plan benefits with customers' lifestyles. In Texas, supplier consolidated billing, in conjunction with the deployment of several million advanced meters, has yielded an array of time-of-use plans. For example, customers can choose a free nights plan where one price is charged for usage from morning to evening, and another price, free in this case, is assigned to usage from evening to morning. Similarly, there are free Saturdays, free weekends, and other time-of-use products. Further, some retailers offer solar buyback programs, which allow customers with solar panels to receive credits on their bill for excess electricity they generate and return to the grid. And for customers interested in green products, retailers offer 100% green plans that give customers the option to upgrade their plans to 100% green through the purchase of wind or solar renewable energy credits. Supplier consolidated billing also provides retailers with the incentive to develop innovative enrollment options and credit management solutions to attract and retain customers. Similar, as an example, Texas retailers can offer prepaid pay-as-you-go plans that don't require a deposit or long-term contract. Similarly, in the post-pay context, retailers have innovated to help customers mitigate upfront deposits through staggered payments, unique product structures, surety bonds, and other credit enhancement vehicles. But the common elements underlying these innovations are the retailer's ownership of the invoice and credit relationship, along with the competitive need to attract and retain customers. In closing, I hope my comments today have provided some insight into why we believe supplier consolidated billing has been essential to the development of the Texas market. I understand some hold different opinions that are concerned for customer disruption or confusion. To those parties, I'd offer that supplier consolidated billing was not implemented in Texas overnight, but rather followed a phased-in approach over many months. With thoughtful planning and coordination, we see no reason why supplier consolidated billing can't operate effectively in Pennsylvania too. Similarly, some suggest that customer protection counsels against vesting retailers with supplier consolidated billing and its necessary complement, account disconnection authority. In response, I'd offer that our experience shows that it is possible for a market to rely on retailers to accurately manage SCB and disconnection authority while also ensuring customer protection. As noted by the AGS Coalition, when Texas opened a competition in 2002, retailers were not initially allowed to initiate disconnections for non-payment. Thorough testing by market participants, however, ensured that these procedures worked reliably before retailers were authorized to request disconnection, and ongoing PUC oversight has fostered retailer accountability. Accordingly, with thoughtful planning, we submit that the same can happen in Pennsylvania. As I believe that vesting retailers with SCB and account disconnection authority are cornerstones of the Texas market, RISA stands ready to work with all key stakeholders to fashion a plan that promotes customer protection, minimizes confusion, and positions Pennsylvania for a new exciting chapter of retail competition. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Shipley Energy. Ms. Greenholz-Tasto, please identify yourself and then proceed with your testimony.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Chairman Brown and Commissioners, for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Laura Greenholz-Tasto, and I represent Shipley Energy. I'm General Manager for their electricity and natural gas business line. So I'd first like to kick things off with a favorite quote of mine, and it's, "The world hates change, yet it's the only thing that has brought progress." This famous quote by American inventor and businessman Charles Kettering drives home the point that change is uncomfortable, but progress is key. Progress is really what we're after here today with supplier consolidated billing. It may seem like a novel or daunting idea, but allowing the billing to be the responsibility of the supplier will open the industry, thank you, will open the industry to new products and innovation and help fuel competition. Think about your own bills at home and how they don't create warm and fuzzy feelings. We all want lower bills, and we all want fewer bills, and we all want convenience. As it stands today, we consumers cannot see our entire energy portfolio on one bill. Switching to supplier consolidated billing would allow this. For instance, Shipley Energy serves consumers for various products including heating oil, propane, natural gas, electricity, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, also known as HVAC. Our customers want the ability to receive their electricity, heating, and HVAC service all on one bill. And with the Internet of Things and smart home technology, we would have the ability to run data analysis to offer customized products to help them conserve energy, lower their bills, and take advantage of alternative energy products like solar and wind, and even do some home security. The best mechanism for customers to enjoy these new products is through supplier consolidated billing. It's hard to picture how utilities would be able to include different options, pricing components, analytics, charts, and graphs for the 121 approved electricity suppliers on PA Power Switch. Their static invoice does not permit this sort of flexibility. And since the utility charges are known and regulated, we easily can put them on our invoice. Having the ability to own the customer relationship and bill the customer is something that we are willing to invest in. When it comes to the mechanics of supplier consolidated billing, Shipley is very capable of handling billing, collections, and low-income assistance programs. Shipley has been billing its own customers since 1929. And propane is probably the most analogous to the utility concept in that we own the tank and customers pay for the product. Customers are billed their propane in HVAC all on one invoice, and we're also able to market other products on that very same invoice. We also receive LIHEAP funds and handle the collection and shut-off process for those customers. We believe we do a good job of managing LIHEAP and believe we could do the same for CAP customers through supplier consolidated billing if the Commission would go that route. We would not have any issue with notifying and educating customers on these programs as we do this today. We do, however, believe that we need the ability to order a shutoff with the utility if the regulated non-payment requirements were met, since in this case, we are bearing all the risk by guaranteeing payment to the utility. And along with other states, supplier consolidated billing has been done in another industry similar to ours. I'm not as familiar with the telephone industry, but my understanding is that ILEX, which were the incumbent local exchange carriers, which would be equivalent to the utility in our case, owned the telephone line infrastructure and had a monopoly on the telephone supply billing, and CLEX, which would be the equivalent to suppliers, were given the ability to take over the customer relationship and bill the customer for both services. Customers were given a choice, and they exist harmoniously at least until cell phones came into play. But ultimately, it comes down to what customers want, and without consumers, none of us, including the Commission, would be here today. We are stymieing progress and innovation for customers with the rigid, monopolistic utility bill that shows just one project. Imagine if we could consolidate bills for several different energy or home products all on one, and imagine how much more energy and bill conscious a consumer could be if they had all the information in one place. Supplier consolidated billing would allow us to do just that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have WGL Energy. Ms. McIntyre, please introduce yourself and then proceed with your testimony.
Good afternoon, Chairman Brown and Commissioners. My name is Bernice K. McIntyre. I am the Director of Regulatory Strategy for all of WGL non-utility operations, including WGL Energy Services. WGL Energy Services supports the introduction of supplier consolidated billing in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, the COO of our company could not be here today, and he regrets that. Unfortunately, had to be in Philadelphia for a PJM-related issue. However, I am delighted to be here today. As a former chairman and commissioner of the Massachusetts Public Utility Commission, I am delighted to appear before you in support of Supplier Consolidated Billing as a furtherance of the competitive energy market in Pennsylvania. I supported competition while a utility regulator, and I continue to support it now. WGL Energy Services is a licensed and active electric and natural gas supplier in Pennsylvania, along with 4 other states in this region. WGL Energy has been providing electric and natural gas supply service for over 8 years in this jurisdiction to residential, commercial, and industrial customers. And we offer many tailored products to enable customers to freely choose and select products that best serve their needs. WGL Energy believes the competitive retail energy market in Pennsylvania is mature enough to support the introduction of supplier consolidated billing. Pennsylvania customers have been prevented from realizing many valuable benefits of electricity choice because supplier consolidated billing has not been available. WGL Energy has successfully served customers with creative products throughout our history. We have been a leader in offering a variety of green products and included an additional 5% win in all of our residential electric offerings for over 15 years. We also include carbon offsets in our standard natural gas products to partner with our customers in improving air and water quality. One of our most successful natural gas products has been a flat bill product that protects the customer from the weather-driven volatility in their gas prices and includes the distribution charges. Customers are charged the same amount each month with no annual true-up, and WGL manages their gas commodity risk and utility charges, covering all of the pricing and weather risk. Tens of thousands of customers have been very loyal in choosing this product for many years. This innovative product is only possible through the cooperation of the utility in supporting the data transfer and billing coordination. This is why in Pennsylvania, we need the permission of the Commission to allow for supplier consolidated billing. Otherwise, it depends on the utility being willing to offer that. And in the 5 states in which we serve our customers, only one utility on the gas distribution side has been willing to do that. While there are many operation details to be clarified, this is not a new frontier. As others have said, this supplier consolidated billing can be phased in over time. Customers must choose to that particular product, and the supplier must choose to offer it, so that you should not expect that all supplier customers at once would be choosing this particular product. And there's no need for a pilot. A number of parties have concerns about low-income customers and how they would be treated under the SCB process. While WGL strongly believes low-income customers should not be denied the opportunity to choose offerings from competitive suppliers, the implementation of SCB may be best approached in 2 phases that can defer the inclusion of low-income customers until the processes are operating effectively. And there is a track record to provide the Commission so that they can be comfortable with what suppliers are already comfortable with, which is that we can serve all of our customers. With that, I close my comments and thank you for the opportunity to appear before you.
Thank you. Next, we have Drift Marketplace Incorporated. Mr. Robinson, please identify yourself and proceed with your testimony.
Okay. My name is Greg Robinson. I am a co-founder and CEO of Drift Marketplace, Inc., commonly known as Drift. Drift is a venture-backed technology company. We have Our main goal is to drive up the adoption of clean energy and distributed energy resources and to drive down the cost of electricity as a service to end customers. We've operated as an ESCO in New York State for the last year. We chose New York based on their New York Rev program. We think that customers view electricity as one service, despite the fact that they are constantly met with offers for home batteries, thermostats to manage their energy, competitive suppliers. I think originally Drift came into the market because of two things. The fact that technology has reached a point where more distributed systems and distributed intelligence across networks is possible, more transparency, and also because of this fragmentation in the market. We spend a lot of time thinking about what customers expect in the age of Amazon and Netflix, which we believe is control, choice, and transparency. We believe that allowing suppliers to consolidate the consumption and costs for the customer will give the flexibility needed to help consumers achieve those goals. I really wanted to share just a few things that we've learned in our experience in New York, which does not have a supplier consolidated billing, to kind of contrast a lot of what we've heard about Texas, who does. What we've learned from our customers is that if a customer has opted in to buying something from a business, the business must be 100% responsible for that customer relationship and satisfaction, or else there will be room for bad actors, they'll be scammed. If they speak English as a second language and don't understand, we've seen that several times from other people in those markets who don't have supplier consolidated billing. If a customer's experience is not similar to other products and services they trust and buy, they will be dissatisfied. If pricing can't be understood by a customer in 3 seconds or less, the customer will be dissatisfied. If the customer has to interface with multiple companies to buy what they perceive as a single service, they will be dissatisfied. Those are a few of the lessons we've learned. I would love to say that it was a really smooth launch in New York, but it wasn't. We had many customers that were extremely confused with Drift. They gave us a lot of feedback about that confusion. Luckily, because we have this obsession with customer satisfaction that probably borderlines on overkill, we were able to retain most of the customers, but there was a lot of education and explaining that I don't think would need to be there if we could sort of explain all the charges through one experience. And as a technology company, we have people on our team who come from a vast array of backgrounds. We have people who have built the foundations of the internet, the physical infrastructure of the internet. We have people who have written the software for some of the cloud services that we use all the time within the applications that we use on our phone. We also have people who have been in competitive markets since they started in the 90s. And I'll close my statements just saying that we'd be honored to continue to be a resource to the Commission in Pennsylvania as you go through this. And I appreciate the time today.
Thank you. Next, we have Advanced Energy Management Alliance. Mr. Lacey, please introduce yourself and then proceed with your testimony.
Thank you. Madam Chairwoman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Commissioners, Your Honor, and ACMO staff, thank you for inviting me to present to you today. My name is Frank Lacey, and I'm the chairman of the Advanced Energy Management Alliance, or AEMA. I'm testifying today on behalf of AEMA. You might not know AEMA. We're a Washington, D.C.-based trade organization whose mission is empowering consumers through distributed energy resources, including demand response and advanced energy management. We are providers and consumers united to overcome barriers to nationwide use of distributed energy resources. We advocate for and educate on policies that empower and compensate consumers to have cost-effective, efficient, resilient, reliable, and environmentally sustainable choices. We strongly support the Commission moving forward with the implementation of Supplier Consolidated Billing, as it will enable advanced energy products and services, including innovative solutions tailored to meet individual consumers' needs. Our members include the providers of technological solutions that empower consumers to better manage their electricity bills, and also some of the largest electricity consumers in the country. I provided you with a list of our members. You may or may not know all of them. However, we make and deliver the products and services that regulators in Pennsylvania and around the country have expressed a strong desire for years. Our members provide dozens of different types of services. I've highlighted in the presentation about 20 of them. These services allow consumers to either reduce their energy consumption or to manage their consumption in a manner that will reduce their electric bill. Now, the services are complicated, and they're meaningless to a customer unless a customer can see what the services are creating. I've detailed in the presentation some of the bill impacts or the bill components that would provide value to a customer in seeing them. These include capital investments, not utility scale investments, but maybe an upfront investment for a solar panel or even a thermostat, in-home thermostat. They include financing charges and lease arrangements, kilowatt hour fees, hourly, on-peak, off-peak, incremental energy purchases and sales, and capacity purchases and sales in the wholesale market, retail energy efficiency or demand response program payments, insurance premiums, rebates, performance payments, and perhaps dozens of others. None of this matters if the customer sees a small box with a $98 charge on its electric bill from a supplier with really no explanation. In the presentation that I have, that you all have in front of you, I've provided a copy of page 2 of my home PICO electricity invoice. And in there, you'll see a little red box that is all of the space that's allocated for the supplier charges. And I participate in a couple of different programs. I have smart thermostats. I participate in the Act 129 programs, which I understand run through the utility. But all I see is a $98 charge for my electricity bill. That small box just simply doesn't work, and it doesn't accommodate all of the charges that a supplier might need to communicate to its customers. One possible alternative is to expand the box, but that box would have to be expanded to meet the needs of every supplier and every one of our members at AEMA and all of their products and services that they offer. And that box would have to be updated continually to accommodate new products and services. So AEMA members offer many products and services that help consumers manage their energy usage. We strongly believe that Supplier Consolidated Billing will enable advanced energy products and services, including those solutions tailored to meet individual customers' needs. Thank you.
Thank you.